and welcome to this follow-up video where I want to address some questions about my recent video on the folding rail guide clamps, which I designed in collaboration with Hongdui. My name is Dennis and I am hooked on wood. And a few days back I uploaded this new video about the folding guide rail clamps. And it's an amazing new product that feels like the most natural way to work with your track saw. And it's so convenient to place your workpiece and then just fold the rail back to your workpiece and make your cut. But to do this accurately and consistently is easier said than done. So we had to design it in a way that did not alter the cut line. So if you already use bench dogs and a guide rail and have made something for your cut line, like I did with the miter track, you can still use this. And of course it should be easy to set and to adjust to certain heights. And as you can see, that goes very smooth and easy without necessary tools. It should be compatible with different brands or different types of bench dogs, even 90mm ones. And to guarantee consistency, it needs to be a rock solid connection with your guide rail. And of course, an easy way to install it without the needs of any tools. And you overwhelmingly commented on this video and share your enthusiasm with me, which was great to read. So thank you for that. But there were two main questions that I'd like to address in this video. And most questions were about the appropriate height of the bench dogs that you should use with this setup. And this depends a bit on how you plan to use your track saw and the cutting capacity you demand or need. These clamps are pretty stable, so I would suggest placing them at both ends of your workbench. And if you work with a guide rail and track saw, it is best to place your track saw on top of your workpiece. Slide it back and then make your cut. That way you stay in the stable zone and you do not necessarily need to support the beginning of the guide rail. And when you stay in between the guide rail clamps, the length of the bench dog is not that relevant, and I would choose 60mm length for the best flexibility. However, when you need maximum cutting capacity, your track saw needs to slide over the bench dog top. And with an 80mm thick workpiece and my battery powered Festool saw, it will make contact with the bench dog top. So therefore, in this situation, the length of your bench dogs becomes important. So let's first examine how much cutting capacity you lose. And the width of your workbench doesn't matter. My workbench is 1000 centimeters wide, but whatever it's 80 centimeters or 120 centimeters, the important factor is that your workpiece needs to fit in between the two bench dogs. So with my Festool setup, the difference in cutting capacity is about 8 centimeters. So you should first consider whether this loss of capacity is a problem for you. And if you occasionally need more cutting capacity, you can always use your track saw without these clamps. It's not that you can't not make that cut anymore. So only when you need that additional 8 centimeters, different size bench dogs are required. And the following table shows the bench dog size I needed for various workpiece thicknesses. The second question concerns cutting depth. Is there a maximum limit? And when you use your track saw with the folding clamps, the cutting depth is mainly influenced by the height of the bench dogs and the capacity of your track saw. And with 60 cm bench dogs, or tallest option, the saw cutting capacity is approximately 40mm. And if you need to cut deeper, you need to use longer bench dogs. But when you want to cut beyond the placement of your clamps, you may encounter another problem. As you increase the depth setting, the motor tends to tilt forward. And with a depth setting greater than 40mm, the motor of my Festool starts to touch the clamps. And I cannot speak for other brands' track saws, but there's clearly a limit due to the thickness of these clamps. So with longer bench dogs and in between the clamps, the limit will be your track saw, and otherwise it is 40mm. But to be practical, cutting a workpiece that is 6 cm thick and approximately 80 centimeters wide, it becomes quite heavy. I think it's around 50 kilograms. So I think you are even happy that you managed such weight to get on your workbench. And in those situations, using a track saw with a rail square could make this process much more easier and more manageable. So I hope this brief video provides insight into the optimal performance range of these folding rail guide clamps and explains how to choose the right size bench dogs for your needs. So if you are using a truck stop for your projects, you absolutely need to get these folding guide rail clamps. It is an amazing tool that will significantly enhance your work efficiency and precision. And I'm confident you will love the differences it makes. So this was the end of this short and basically edited video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see each other next time.